The Smart Money or Divergence Indices indicator is tailored for the ICT style and is available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for the MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on the bar chart. Traders can also visit this page to learn how the indicator works and understand it. From the Navigator section, select the indicator file and run the indicator by browsing the file on the chart. Just make sure to enable the Allow DLL Imports option in the Command section, and then go to the Input section. In this section, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. The first point is about the first symbol. The symbol that is placed in this section must be exactly the symbol on which the indicator is applied. The second point you need to pay attention to is the way the symbol is written. This indicator is specifically designed for the 3 Dow Jones, Asante Ponce, and Nasdaq symbols. However, you can place 3 symbols that have a high correlation with each other, or in this section. The first symbol, Mo, here is DJI, which stands for Dow Jones, Thai, but depending on the broker, different symbols may be used. The symbol, or I applied the indicator to, is also the Dow Jones, but the way it's written is different, which I need to correct in this section. I need to make some adjustments here, which are like a drinking method. So I'm adjusting the Dow Jones, S&P 500, and Nasdaq here to the current market trends and economic indicators to ensure a balanced and strategic approach, to maximize potential gains and minimize risks. After placing the correlated symbols, we click OK and run the indicator. The indicator automatically adds 2 more symbols, including the close and the S&P 500. Here I will place the symbols next to each other. The SMT Divergence Indices indicator is a special and practical tool for traders using the ICT style. With this indicator, they can identify liquidity consumption, trendline divergences, or hidden divergences, along with SMT divergence. If a symbol consumes a liquidity level and 2 other symbols fail to reach that liquidity level, for example, here on the 25th, identify the divergence of the non-cash set based on this indicator. If one symbol, such as a stock or currency, consumes the liquidity level, which is a critical threshold in financial markets, and 2 other symbols, for instance, bonds or commodities, fail to reach this important liquidity level, which, for example here, is on the 25th of the month, it can lead to significant market implications. On the 25th, we see that on the 25th, the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 index both closed at a low of 2,500 on the 25th. However, in one symbol, it failed to reach the liquidity level, indicating selling pressure and the potential for a trend reversal in the symbols. The symbol that did not succeed in reaching the liquidity level will display the liquidity level in green if it's a high level and in red if it's a low level, as shown in the settings. In the input section, there are options for us to place the first symbol, the second symbol, and the third symbol. In the next section, you can activate or deactivate the settings related to divergences, and by default, the SMT divergence mode is active. Here I disable SMT mode and I'm activating the trend divergence here. In the S&P 500 and Dow Jones indices, a downward trend line is identified here, while in the Nasdaq index, an upward trend line has been recognized, which is considered a trend line divergence, or is also referred to as a hidden divergence. An important point to note is the timing of drawing the trend lines, which here is identified at 24.2, and ultimately the trend lines are recognized at 24.2 as well. All three indices form divergences at the same time and on the same date, which are identified on the chart. And the TOM state is also a state of high and desired divergence, which is considered as a high divergence. Here you can see the divergences. This divergence is based on the highs and lows of two candles, which are based on the differences in the values on the price chart in three symbols. Here we see the Dow Jones symbol with a higher high and low. The S&P 500 symbol is one higher, and finally the Nasdaq symbol has a divergence, here which is one lower, and divergence has been identified. Using this indicator, ICT-style traders can easily identify various divergences on three highly correlated symbols and perform more specialized analysis on the chart. In the settings section, you can set the maximum distance between two highs or two lows, which you can use if the trend divergence mode is active. You can change the number to your desired amount, which by default is set to the number of candles between two highs. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We would be happy if you could share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.